Roll one, take whatever, roll on, take on me. We're back. Hey guys, it's Shane, and welcome back to Code Kraken Studios. And today, on a very special comeback tour, I'm here to say hello. That's pretty much it. So, sorry, it's been so long. I'm actually really happy to be back. And I'm just going to start off by sort of going over a bit of why I left and where I've been and what I'm doing. So I left YouTube unintentionally. It a day turned into a week, turned into a month, turned into pretty much what looks like a year. And the reason that led to that is basically that when I was trying to be consistent with YouTube videos, I was putting too much pressure on myself for the videos, and the scope of what I wanted to create and put out grew too far, too fast, too quick. So I sort of became, in my head, I became more than what I wanted to do initially. And what I wanted to do initially is that I wanted to have this channel as basically a video log, a vlog of obviously of my journey and my reflections of making video games and my way into the industry. And it in my head it quickly escalated to full on production. I've went and bought a green screen, and I had backdrops and everything, which I've still got. I'm going to be setting up camera lighting and that still, because I prefer what I do shoot to look better. But it escalated to what am I going to do an episode of? What am I going to show off? What am I going to teach? Because YouTube for me has all been about entertainment, of course, but learning, a lot of learning. There's a lot of information out there, and I look for it. So I imagine everyone else does, of course. But yeah, it quickly I quickly lost sight of why I started it, which was mainly just so that I can look back on this and see what I've done and where I've come from and what my journey was, and bring along a whole heap of people who want to watch as well and join in. So that's what I'm bringing it back to. Like, I will still try and set up some the backdrops and the lights occasionally. Sometimes it won't be. Sometimes you might see my messy background. At the minute, it is messier than it should be because I've only just moved house. I've gone through a lot of crap with that, actually. Pardon the language. Yeah, Captain America here doesn't like language, not me. Um, yeah, I moved house, and that was really hard. Purely because I got COVID. Then when I didn't have COVID, my wife had COVID, and it was all just as we were meant to be moving. It's a whole big story, and I'm not going to go through it. But I will be going through talking about my game dev progress, I should say, and what's coming and what I'm doing next. So, so far, I've been looking at the Whoopi Smushin game and working on that there, or I say working on that there, for the last 1 2 years even, actually, and I feel like I've got nowhere with it, and a lot of that is limited time, and every time I do pick it up, I feel like I've got to start almost at the start again to try and see where I was up to with things, because a lot of time lapses sometimes between when I started and last and when I had to sort of take an unintentional break because things got busy with life. But a lot of that was also that my heart kind of wasn't in it after a period, because I'd been looking at it for so long, and there's so many other games I want to make. There are so many games I want to make, and I mean, I'm going to still look at Whoopi Smushin again one day, but what I've decided to do for the sake of sanity, as well as just progress, and um, yeah, just because I want this to be something that I love, not something that I feel like I'm torturing myself with, I've decided to shelve the project. And if you're not familiar with that term, shelving a project basically means taking everything, storing it on the shelf, not getting rid of it, obviously, and coming back to it after you've done other things, or when you're ready, when things have simmered, and the time is right to take it back up and try and make progress on it. It might not be right for me right now, but it may be something that's right for me later on, after I've had a palate cleanse even. So what I'm looking at now, I've obviously been looking at a lot of different games that I want to make, and going through my old journals and stuff of what I do, and do have ideas of and such. A lot of my old ideas are great, and don't get me wrong, I've thought about them. I came up with a couple of new ideas too, and there's actually a meld between an old idea and a new idea, which I'm thinking about. Not going to go into it right now too much, because I want to have a little bit of progress. It's only an idea at the minute, but just a spoiler, or a taste. It's a farming game, and it's a farming game, and it's kind of Animal Crossing esque. With that's all I want to say right now. Anyway, so that's the teaser, I guess. Another thing I've been thinking a long, hard time about, and trying to consider, is my path into the industry. Not just making games for myself, but what I need to improve and work on to get into the industry professionally, because that is where I truly want to be. Right now, I am working in customer service, and that's got its rewards, sure, but it's really not. It's not healthy for me long term. It does more mental health damage than it does help. So my current thoughts have been just trying to sort of work on what my passion is. I have a love for designing levels and designing things like that, game implement like the actual game architecture and such. But programming comes easier to me than it should, I guess. Maybe just how my mind works. But where my heart truly is more creative work than programming work. So I'm trying to sort of go through all of my interests and see where I could really see myself as the core thing, um, my core desire, I guess. Um, and with that, basically, once I focus on one, I mean, obviously, and this is probably important for anyone who watches this, or anyone who's interested in the game industry, to consider. It is still important to know a little about everything. I know that sounds kind of bad. There's a lot of high expectation, and truth be told, there probably is. But the truth is that, I mean, you could be a generalist at heart and love 100 different avenues, but you've got the truth is, at the same point, you've also got to have something that you can show you are good at. For example, I could be great at I could love music composition and sound effects, and be really into audio engineering, but also be equally as enticed by programming and mechanics. I could even love game design, and I could also love like 2D art. But maybe what my specialty should be, or could be in this case, might be 3D art. I might be a complete whiz with Blender, which is free, but a pain in the, yeah, you get it. It could be that. So maybe I focus on that. But then I've got all these other things that I'm good at that I can also take along as extra skill. And it doesn't mean I won't get to do any of those. but I have a niche of what I'm good at. But also, you do need to, even if you're not working on all those other things, to be able to work harmoniously in a team. That's what you need, and that's why I'm, you know, why I'm, why I love game design. Honestly, you don't have to just love one part of it. You can love all of it. It is the ADHD of careers because you can have every interest and just ping pong between them all. Anyway, this is going to be a bit of a longer video, especially considering I'm not going to edit this. So, this is where I leave you for now. I will be uploading soon. They will be, like I said, they'll be just vlogs, more talking to camera like this, maybe some screen time, things I'm working on, things I'm doing in my pursuit for game design and game development. Spoiler alert, what I'm working on currently. Actually, probably not a spoiler, it's just what I'm doing currently. I'm working on that game, like I mentioned, coming up with a concept and working through the game design document, at least an initial one. But I've also been dipping my toes in Unreal Engine 5, which I've not touched. I've not touched Unreal Engine before, but I've always worked with Unity, and Unity has been good to me. But, you know, I think it's important to sort of stay up to date with a lot of the different technologies in the industry, and Unreal Engine 5 is unbelievable, as everyone keeps saying. And whilst I don't know C++ yet, I'm working on that. I'm taking a couple of course on that, but I'm also learning Blueprint, which is their visual scripting, which I've never touched visual scripting ever, so this is kind of interesting for me too. Next thing I'm working on is going to be Blender. Anyway, also I've got to get this office set up because it's a complete shambles. I won't show it to you right now because I don't want you to see it. I don't want to see it. But hopefully it'll be looking a lot better next time. Anyway, I've rambled for too long, I've spoken for too long, and I'm probably sick of my voice. You probably definitely are. And that's terrible for me to say on my own video. Thank you for watching. You have a great day. Love everyone.